Welcome back, guys, to the Fifth Horseman, where we talk about the ongoing societal collapse we deserve, not the one we wanted. Today, we're going to talk a little about civil unrest, the PC term for riots and protests, and how to adapt your life around them. We're also going to touch on the title of the video, which is Defense Against the Liberal Dark Arts, or at least those with liberal arts degrees, as they try to drag us all into the abyss. So let's get into it. Being prepared nowadays isn't a set and forget way of dealing with modern personal security concerns. It's more about managing what passive steps or measures you can take versus more active steps, and when is it time to take the active steps in your day-to-day life. If you choose to be someone that accepts the modern risks and not go through your day-to-day like a Disney adult where everything is whimsical and great and there's no need to think this way, then this video isn't for you. Conversely, if you saw Red Dawn that one time and are hell-bent on kind of having a truck gun or multiple camo pant options for the Boogaloo, then this also isn't for you. So with that said, here's where we start. Staying geographically informed. Generally speaking, you should have a firm grasp on overall problem areas in and around where you live and work. Things like high crime areas, the locations of typical degenerate activity like open-air drug markets, malls for those trending teen takeovers we keep seeing, the ones full with scholars and engineers, and even locations of fiery but mostly peaceful protests as we've come to know them. As these things can be seasonal, since it's more comfortable to rage against the machine in nice weather. But honestly, if tourist dollars are flowing, these people will show up in LARP regardless of the weather. That said, expect traffic to be blocked at choke points like intersections, bridges, in and around major events, especially if it's a politically charged event or location, like government buildings or government-affiliated contractors. We recently saw that up in New York City with CRY. They make camo for the military and law enforcement, and anything that's affiliated with that, shipping, military weapon production, these people tend to show up. Their focus isn't to win people over on their side. It's just kind of to piss as many people off as possible. Mostly childlike antics, create news headlines. But what this does in effect of psychological warfare is it creates the appearance in the media of national instability, which is kind of a key indicator of a psyop. If you want to know more on this, comment below and I might make a more detailed video on it, or you can research yourself about fifth generational warfare or books like Psychological Warfare by Paul Linebarger, if you can find it. Next is preparing your home. Well, events of the day following you home may seem like a long shot. It's not something we haven't seen over the last few years. So taking some precautions is never a bad thing. The show Doomsday Preppers, along with a horde of online prepping channels, has beaten some preparedness to death. If you found your way to this channel, I'm sure you've already made a series of life mistakes, and for that I apologize. That said, you should have all the beans, bolts, and band-aids you might need for up to a week, along with all the other items you would have for a storm or during a power outage. Things like batteries, battery banks that are charged, multiple gallons of water, prescription medication, etc. But beyond these basics in 2026, there's other items that I would consider a necessity. Cameras that are positioned to record avenues approach to your house, your front and back doors and yard, at least one camera inside your front door that generally captures the largest amount of space. All those Ring doorbell cameras have proven pretty useful when self-defense incidents have happened at the threshold to your home or just outside the front door, but you almost never see footage from just inside after a forced entry. This is why placement of an internal camera is so important. We could get into the whole thing about drug cartel nerds using jamming equipment to disrupt cell phones from calling 911 and Wi-Fi signals from showing camera feeds. But if you're a regular Joe not living right on the border in the path of a cartel operation, these guys aren't coming for you. That said, if your cameras are reachable physically, someone with any degree of planning will just use spray paint or a piece of tape to cover up the lens. This happened in the Nancy Guthrie case. It's happened with some ATF raids where they ended up, killing unsuspecting people inside when they could have just probably approached them somewhere else. So just be wary of that. In the same vein, we won't get into defending against door and lock bypass techniques to defend against, since this scenario is mostly for flash mob style defense in case morons in black bloc show up with jazz hands. In that case, reinforcing the door with a 2x4 and some lag bolts will definitely do in a hurry. However, in case they're full up on their asthma medication and they try to donkey kick the door open, I think you'll be fine, especially if you have your friend Smith & Wesson in the house with you. In case of a forced entry, you're not John Wick, so just select a hard point in your house, like a bedroom that your family knows to get to, and you can barricade the door and defend yourself until police can get there. Bonus points if you take the extra steps and actually replace the contractor grade door frame and door with a metal door frame and a metal door. People aren't suspecting that when they go to try to force open a door, so that'll definitely give you bonus points in that scenario. One person should be responsible for communications with 911 if this happens, though, and they should work on a safety word or a parole that they can relay to officers to use on scene when they show up. This will help against intruders who are pretending to sound like law enforcement in order to coax you out of your room and deal with you that way. There's been evidence of this happening during some mass events in schools where the perpetrator was pretending to be law enforcement, so be wary of that. Some cursory things to consider should also include removal of anything indicating the political leanings of the people inside your house to prevent you from being targeted. Also, things that may deter someone from playing the F around portion of the find out equation could include a large empty water bowl outside the front door, maybe a used dog leash, security stickers or signs from Nest or ADT, motion activated lights, and some of the similar security systems that you're going to find even available over the counter at Target, Best Buy, or some more niche places online. Next is protecting your digital footprint. This should go without saying, but there's a lot of people who aren't as savvy in the defending against modern OSINT or open source intelligence practices in order to remain hardened against people trying to find out who you are and where you live. Step one should be the use of a VPN. A search will still show you the best vendors to use, but make sure you kind of cater to the more privacy-focused ones. This will make IP correlation more difficult from your average user, but not from law enforcement. But we aren't talking about anything illegal here, so that shouldn't be an issue. This is mostly to protect you from getting doxxed for a rogue Facebook or YouTube comment you made at 2 a.m. Or any other social media post that you may have made. Next, you should actively review social media privacy settings and make sure for the accounts where you upload personal photos and stories for friends and family that you actually know everyone you friended and only allow people that you friended to see your content. Ensure your account is set to only people who follow you can see your posts. And if you have a more open account where you don't post personal images, just make sure there is nothing posted that could help correlate your home or work location, either through images or through metadata. Most social media posts, or most social media apps rather, they do scrape away geolocation data from the metadata in a posted image, but it can't hurt to check to be sure. That said, there's also open source software and websites available where a single image can be uploaded to determine a location depending on data points in the photo. Certain things in the background like landmarks, horizons, time of day, it takes all that into account and can give rough GPS coordinates of where the photo might have been taken, so be careful. I'll provide a single note on the career opportunity website, LinkedIn. If you are not actively looking for a job, it's best to either delete your account or make it entirely private. If you are looking for a job or you need to leave it open because you work in a joke corporate job as a B2B sales rep or thought leader, then consider first name, last initial, and no picture of yourself, or make it only available to people you follow. Cancel culture is alive and well, and the first place people will look to tar and feather you for an online comment will be LinkedIn and your current employer. So consider even having a made-up current employer that sounds real but doesn't actually exist. Last, when you're commuting to that job, for the commuters out there that are still biding their time in that corporate daycare job until AI takes over, it goes without saying you should identify multiple routes to work and home. If a route is blocked or you think there could be, quote, protest activity, consider an alternate route that day. Keep your gas tank above half full as a personal policy, as this will always ensure you have enough to get you to and from work without the need to stop for gas. Carry a vehicle emergency kit that's seasonal as far as the repairs you might need to make to your vehicle that you're capable of making. Jump starter batteries, tire plug kits, spare tires, fire extinguisher. Also consider carrying a gas mask with you with specifically a P3 filter, which is rated for pepper spray and tear gas, in case you find yourself driving through or downwind of a riot or other LARPer activity. Follow your local laws at all times, but also consider a means of self-defense in your car that can range from pepper spray to batons or the more pew variety. I would also consider a Faraday bag for your cell phone in order to make it disappear off grid from towers, being able to collect on location data, should that be a useful tool for you, depending on what situation you've gotten yourself into. Also consider a balaclava or something that can conceal your facial identity. There's been a lot of times people have been in their vehicle while a group of protesters have blocked traffic to quote protest, and they like to record the terrified faces of people just to get to work, who are just trying to get to work so they can use it for their own propaganda videos. Deny the enemy the opportunity and cover your face. Well, that covers some of the basic things I've seen talked about in other videos, but also highlights some things I don't think get much attention. If you found anything useful in today's video, please leave a like below and consider subscribing to help the channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, stay safe, everyone, and remember, profit from the decline.